How many people here, adults or teenagers, remember the day of their first communion? With clarity, I do. I can remember something that someone said over 60 years ago. And this is proof today of how special this is. And I think this is the work of the Spirit. Because to come here, especially godparents, grandparents, how many people live further than 5 miles away from the church? Okay, at least 20 or so. That means, I believe, the Spirit of God called you here to be with your children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, whatever their relationship with you. And that's kind of the work of the Spirit that happens. Now, I want to tell you some anti-spirit, okay? I was watching YouTube 2 days ago, and this woman, Loca, she's on the freeway, the 405, which I think is the busiest freeway in the county, coming the opposite direction in much traffic, driving like a crazy person. I think I saw her, I don't usually watch these police chases, but something grabbed me, and she hit at least 3 cars, and one was really damaged, and then she rammed right into a huge diesel truck, and then she got out of the car and went up on the hood of the truck. Absolutely crazy. Now, I use that word hesitatingly because maybe really she does have mental illness. I think you have to think that you can get away from several cop cars that are in sight of you, and plus a helicopter, because we watched it all from a helicopter. And even at night, if there's a helicopter over you with that bright light shining on your vehicle and you get out of the car and then run, you're gonna get caught. Now, maybe 1 out of 100 don't, but I'd say the other 99 are gonna get caught. It is just dumb. So why do people do it? Well, probably desperate in some way, maybe mentally off, but also there may be what we call the condition of sin. Sin is something that we all experience. In fact, St. Paul said it this way. He said, he was trying to describe the power of sin in his life. He says, I see the good that I want to do and the bad that I don't want to do, the good that I should do, the bad that I shouldn't do, and then I choose the bad. He said, I can't explain it. It's just the power of sin in me. I'm kind of broken. And this, again, is one of the reasons that I think we need grace and we need the Holy Spirit in our lives. Because, if we get desperate, then desperation guides us. And that's not a good guide, I don't think. You know the famous prayer, I think it is, of footprints? And it goes something like this. It's like a little story or allegory. It says that this person is walking down the beach side by side with Jesus Christ. And as they walked, they left 2 sets of footprints in the sand, 2 and 2, as they walked along. But at some point, the person looked down and only saw 1 set of footprints. And so he cried out and said, Jesus, where were you when I needed you most, when I was most in pain? You left me alone. There were only 1 set of footprints, my footprints. And he said, oh, no, my son. Don't you understand? When you were most alone and when you most needed me, I lifted you up and carried you. And those were my footprints. Well, that's something I think is what Pentecost is about. It's described that this powerful wind came and filled them, and then this crowd gathered, and this Spirit touched everybody. And the testimony that it gives is this, that they were all from different places. They list 5 or 6 different cities they were from that spoke different languages, but on that day, when the Spirit filled them, they all spoke in one tongue. They became absolutely united. And that's what I think the Spirit does. Look around. People from all kinds of places are here just because the Spirit calls them to be here in love with these children today. So I think that when we look at Pentecost, we have to appreciate what the gift of the Spirit means. You know, when I was your age, boys and girls, of course, we always said in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, so I knew who the Holy Spirit was. But I prayed to Jesus or to the Father. I almost never thought of the Holy Spirit. In fact, in those days, they used to say the most forgotten person of the Holy Trinity is the Holy Spirit. Forgotten. We don't pray to him. So I went into the seminary when I was 14 years to consider being a priest, and every single day, at every single class, before the class, we prayed this prayer. Come, Holy Spirit, fill the hearts of your faithful and kindle in them the fire of your love. I said that prayer like 6 times a day at least. And I learned to pray to the Holy Spirit. But I also learned that the Holy Spirit is real. There is a big difference today between what we're doing on Pentecost involving the Holy Spirit and what the children are doing with communion. Because I suppose there are symbols of the Holy Spirit. We usually look at a dove somewhere, and that has become the symbol of the Spirit. And every once in a while, a loose bird from outside gets in here, and somebody will say, oh, it's the Holy Spirit. Well, I don't know if it's the Holy Spirit, but it's at least a bird. But when we come to receive Eucharist, and these boys and girls are doing it for the first time today, they actually see something. And it's Christ's presence in food. And he chose it because we got to eat to live. We don't eat, we starve. And so Jesus said, I am your food. Eat me. This is my body. This is my blood. Bread and wine. Eat it. Drink it. And let me be in you. Let me live in you. So in a way, Eucharist is a lot easier to connect with. Jesus is a lot easier to connect with because we know his life. We study everything, especially his death and his resurrection. So Eucharist is simple for us to get hold of. But the Spirit of God is something else. And Jesus promised after his death and resurrection, I am leaving again, but I promise you, I will send you the Holy Spirit, and this Holy Spirit will teach you everything you need to know, will guide you and lead you and fill you with gifts. And one of the many gifts that we have, like we have lectors and we have altar servers, we have choirs, we have a videography going on for us, we have all kinds of things, ushers and evangelists and teachers, our communion teachers are here. All these different gifts that are present in the church, sacristans, people that are serving the whole community, because they felt compelled at some point in their life, with the Spirit of God touching their hearts, that they needed to do something. They wanted to use their gifts, and so they did. In the opening prayer of the church today, this is what I said, and because, we go through prayers and sometimes don't really catch it all, but I said, O God, who by the mystery of today's great feast, Pentecost, and it is a mystery, because I tell you, I believe the Holy Spirit is powerfully present here right now, but I don't think anybody can see it. Powerfully present. It's a mystery. Sanctify, make holy your whole church in every people and in every nation. Pour out the gifts of the Holy Spirit across the face of the earth. And with the divine grace that was at work when the gospel was first proclaimed, here's the line. Fill now, right now, fill now once more the hearts of believers. Now, what if we didn't pray that? What if we didn't even think of the Holy Spirit today? Or what if you didn't go to Mass today and somebody said, oh, it was all red in the church today. I wonder why that was so. And they didn't even know it was because we were celebrating the Holy Spirit in Pentecost. So what if let's say all of us not once thought about the Holy Spirit today, nor asked the Holy Spirit to come in our lives? Is that any different than all of us united saying, come, Holy Spirit, fill the hearts of your faithful? Try that with me. Ready? Come, Holy Spirit, fill the hearts of your faithful. Now say it with emotion. Come, Holy Spirit. One more time. Come, Holy Spirit, fill the hearts. What if we said that every day? What if for the next year, not one day went by without our asking the Holy Spirit of God to come, to fill us, to enter into us, to teach us, to guide us, to love us, to grace and bless us. And so Pentecost, we do it once a year. And by the way, this candle will be moved after this day back over to the baptismal font. And it only comes out like this for funerals. For baptisms, we pull it out. But it's over there by the font after this. During the Paschal Easter season, it represents the resurrection. It's right there in front of us so that we can't miss it. But what if every day this year now, we invoke the Holy Spirit of God to come upon us, to fill us? I guarantee you, things will be different.